Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Reclaimed Ranch. My name is Tara, and I have some fun news today. I did order some more new decoupage papers, a lot of them for fall. And so I kind of wanted to go through those with you and share the images. So I used this one recently in a video. It's called Blue Bonnets and Poppies. It is absolutely gorgeous. Got beautiful blues and oranges, and you got 4 sections, so you can do 4 different projects with it. And so that's one of my favorites. I love that one. And then this next one is called Bees and Daisies, and I just thought these colors were perfect for fall, and I love the images. They're so crisp and clear, and it's all rice paper. I love working with rice paper. Seems to be a little bit easier for me to apply on surfaces. And then we have this one's super cute. It's called the Old Bucket, the Old Autumn Bucket. Look at those squirrels. They're so cute. I love them. How fun is that? So pretty. And you know, it's two like 5x7s. So you can get 2 nice projects out of that. And then we have these gorgeous birds and some fall foliage. This is the top one here. I think they're called, I'm sorry, I don't remember this one. I think it's birds in wreaths or something. Not sure, but it's on my website. And if you just put decoupage paper, it'll bring them all up. And then this is a pretty one too. I think this is pumpkin wreaths. So you've got the top one here and the bottom. So I love how there's 2 different images on one paper, because then you can get multiple projects done for less money. This one is so pretty. This is called Watercolor Stacked Pumpkins Trio. And it's trio because it's got 3 different images. But I love these fall colors. These are the colors that I am drawn to. They're very muted, neutrals, but they still have the dash of color to them. So that's one that I love. And then this one's really pretty too. This is called Blue Jay. And he's really, really pretty. So he takes up the full page, but you know, the details don't disappoint in this. Very pretty. And then for my owl fans out there, I got another one. This is called Alley Quad, and it's quad because there's 4 different. Look at how precious these babies are. They're so cute. Those would be fun to put on for spring or fall. And then I got some bigger ones, the size A3, and I did just order another shipment of some new stuff that they got in. So we'll be going through those. So this one's called the Stacked Pumpkins. I love how it has the writing and a frame around them. And it has all those gorgeous fall colors. So this would look really pretty on like a little piece of furniture or something. And let's see. Oh, and then the rest is Christmas, so I can't show you those quite yet. We'll get to those in about a month or 2. So let's go ahead and do a couple projects with these new rice papers. And like I said, they're available on my website at this point. And all of the Fusion projects or products, as well as Redesign with Prima, are on there. So if you have any questions, let me know and tell me what one is your favorite. Okay, the first project I have is I got this old vintage box, and it has really cool hardware. And I really like the color of the box, but apparently it was handed down to a kid because there was glitter, there was stuck candy in there, all kinds of blobs of paint. So I think actually this was probably an artist box. And you'll see in a little bit that there is a name and a date inscribed in the wood, which I thought was kind of cool. But I wanted to get the bottom as smooth as possible, so I took my little scraper and was getting all the big chunks, because they basically just painted over all the candy blobs and the glitter blobs and whatever else was stuck there. They painted that blue-gray color over the top of it. And so this took actually quite a while. Took a lot of effort in getting this guy clean, but it's definitely well worth it in the end. And I eventually, after I got the big parts off with my scraper, I did end up getting my little finger sander and using like an 80 grit sandpaper to get most of that paint off of there. And that allowed it to get a nice smooth surface. And I didn't take it all off, but I took most of it off. And then I ended up using some of the Fusion's paint in coal black, and I just painted the whole inside that black color, except I kept where the name was inscribed in the wood. I kept that kind of lighter so that people could still see, because I just thought it is a cool part of the story of the box and what it was used for. So hopefully we can continue to have somebody buy it and use it for like storage, but for art supplies or something creative, I think would be kind of fun. So the next step was, there was a big crack through the bottom piece of wood there. So I'm going to go in with my Star Bond medium glue and accelerator and just fill that crack in so that it can no longer split anymore. And that'll keep it welded together. So I do have that affiliate link down in the description box. I love using the Star Bond glue. It works really well for adhering cracks together, filling in the cracks on wood pieces, and so it just makes life a lot easier. And then I continue to scrape all the other pieces off. Used my little handy dandy vacuum to clean up the mess. And then I did go over it with my Fusion's odorless solvent, and that there's some of those dark spots there were kind of greasy from whatever was stuck on there food wise. So I just used the solvent over the entire thing just to make sure that everything was completely cleaned before I put that Fusion paint on. So I do love the odorless solvent because it does its job without having the nasty odor. So you can use it indoors, and it dries really quickly. So from here, this is the name. So Janice, it was Janice's box in December of 1948. So how cool is that? I love that feature. So I made sure to keep her name in there as a part of a tribute to her and her little box. But yeah, I went in with coal black, did 2 coats with the Fusion coal black to cover everything, and that just cleaned it up, made it look nice and new again. And then we're going to do some fun decoupage on the front of it. So here we're going to go in with that new decoupage called Bees and Daisies. And I'm using the water method to give us an organic tear ripped feel to it, because then it's easier to just decoupage and blend in. So I just take my little artist brush, put it in water, put it on the decoupage, let it seep in a little bit, and then rip the edges around. And that's going to give us a nice kind of a vintage feel to it as well. And so a lot of times when people decoupage, they paint the surface first, then add the decoupage paper. But since I want the box to stay brown, we're going to go ahead and just paint the back of my decoupage paper white. And I'm using DIY's White Swan. And that way the colors will still pop without having to paint the box. Because if I were to try to paint this box, it would definitely bleed, have tannins come through, just be kind of a mess. And I want to keep that vintage vibe to it. So once I paint it, I just do one coat. Then I use my heat gun to dry it completely. And then I'm going to go in with the DIY liquid patina to adhere this little piece to the box. And because it's such a small piece, I don't really have to do a starter strip with this. I just basically put the liquid patina over the entire surface and then place it on the box. So I just kind of want to pan out where I want to put it. Thought about doing a starter strip, but I'm like, yeah, it's small enough. So we're just going to go in and put a thin coat of the liquid patina all over. Then I'm going to flip it over, place it in position, and then use the liquid patina on top to remove any of the air bubbles and wrinkles. So just flatten it with my hand first. And then a lot of times if I feel like there's a lot of wrinkles, I'll use my heat gun. But because of the rice paper, it makes it so easy that I really don't have to use anything but my hand and the brush to get the wrinkles out. I tend to get a little bit more with the decoupage paper, the 18-pound regular paper. And so that's when I use my heat gun to help get some of that air pocket parts out of the decoupage. So I just decided to do the liquid patina over the entire top part of the box. I didn't do the whole thing, but this will just make it cohesive and seal in any of those tannins, as well as the decoupage paper on top. So I thought this was a really cool image. Works well for, you can use it in spring, summer, and fall, I think, for any occasion. And I'm really excited to see who gets the box and what they're going to use it for. So let me know if you have any ideas on what you would use it for. Mine, if I kept it, it would definitely be for artist supplies. So, and then I thought, well, since that paper's ripped, it's kind of white, so we'll go ahead and add some dark wax to it, and it's from DIY, just going around the edges and the corners. Ended up going over the entire top part of the box, and then just using a shop towel to remove any of the excess. Okay, so the second project was super simple, but turned out so darn cute. So I had this old rusted little tin bucket, and someone had used it for a planter. They drilled a hole in the bottom. But look at how awesome these colors go with that bucket. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the cute little squirrel decoupage paper, and I'm only going to use half because the bucket's not that deep, and so we're just going to use that water method again to take the rice paper and go ahead and make an organic rip to it. And I'm just going to work it all the way around first, and then we'll rip. And the reason I like that is our eyes are more apt to find a straight edge than an organic torn edge. And so This is why I do this for pretty much all my projects, especially if I'm going to be painting or blending or any of that. It just makes it easier to hide and camouflage. So we're just going to pull that apart, and now I've got 3 or 2 extra parts to use on different projects. So we're just going to make this bucket a little like fall bucket, and I thought it'd be cute to put like some moss in it, and you can put pumpkins or acorns or little peanuts even for the squirrels, some foliage, so you can do all kinds of things with this little bucket, or you can even put a plant in it. That would be kind of fun to get some mums to put in there. So we're going to do the same thing as we did with the first project. Because I don't want to paint the bucket, I'm just going to paint the back of the decoupage paper, and that will give me the pop of color that I'm looking for. So just 1 coat is all we need, and then I'll use my heat gun to go ahead and dry that completely. And once that's dry, I'll go ahead and go in with the DIY's liquid patina, and I'll put a thin coat. This one I think I actually did the starter strip because I had to lay the pail on its side, and because it's easily able to roll around, I went ahead and just put 2 paints on either side of it to keep it still. And then I went ahead and just did a starter strip and worked my way across. There was a couple of dents in the pail. It's an old rusty pail, but the decoupage paper seemed to just follow right along in with those dents. Didn't seem to have any problems with the air bubbles in there, so that worked out really well. And then I'm going to go ahead, and once I get this down, I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I did use the heat gun on this just to make sure that those dents didn't have any air pockets in them. But then we're going to go ahead and go over just the paper with the decoupage medium. And then I figured since the pail was rusty anyway, it wasn't a big deal. I didn't have to do the decoupage medium over the entire thing, just the paper. And I think this is probably going to be an inside decor anyway, so went ahead and air dried that. And then you can definitely see where I ripped the edges. It's kind of more of a white color from the rice paper, so I'm going to go in with some Rub and Buff in the color Spanish Copper. And this was like almost an exact match to the bucket, which I thought was really cool. So it didn't take much. I just took a little bit on a paintbrush and stippled it down, kind of blended it in, and that was all I needed to do. It was basically done. I think this project took me like literally less than 5 minutes to do, and now I've got a cute little fall bucket that I can either store stuff in or use as decor. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you're having a great week. I will definitely be back on Friday with a new thrift flip. I've been thrifting quite a bit, and I had a whatnot sale today, so wanting to get some different projects going so that I can do a whatnot sale with my upcycles, because I did take that down from my website. I'm just doing products on my website. So here's the final look. Let me know what you guys think. I just think this box turned out so cool, and I love that bee. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you back here on Friday. Take care, y'all. Bye.